What's up guys, welcome to Chasing Folklore. I am George Martinez, and today I really want to talk to you guys about the top 5 most haunted places in the United States that you can actually visit right now. At number 1 comes in Salem, Massachusetts, and if you don't know, this is the place where the famous Salem witch trials actually took place. As early as the 14th century, there was a belief in Europe that witches actually existed. It was believed that witches actually worked with the devil, and the devil in return gave them powers so they could harm other people. These legends came to America in 1692, and these beliefs actually started a wave of paranoia and hysteria and accusations that traveled across the New World. At this time in Salem, a group of girls started saying that they had been bewitched by other townfolk after they started exhibiting really strange behaviors. Legend says that one of the girls barked like a dog and another one flapped her wings like a bird as the Bible was being read to them in church. The town then started to actually believe the girls and their accusations. They developed a special court system where they could actually bring in people to determine if they were witches or not, and if they actually had been afflicting these girls. It was said that more than 150 people were actually put in jail, and this included a 4-year-old boy who was actually chained to the wall, and he was there for 4 months. The court cases proceeded, and at the end of the witch trials, it was said that at least 20 people were executed because they believed that they were actually witches or warlocks. One of the most haunted places in Salem is believed to be Howard Street Cemetery, where one Giles Corey was supposedly buried after being executed since the townfolk believed that he was a warlock. Salem is just one of those places that has a ton of history, and the things I've said are literally just surface level. I actually want to do a travel investigation and take you guys to Salem so we can both investigate and see what actually happened during the witch trials. I want to find out the real story and the history of this place to tell you guys, and we can both learn about Salem. At the number 2 spot, we have the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans, Louisiana. Legend says that during the 19th century, Madame LaLaurie lived in a lavish mansion in the French Quarter of Louisiana. Madame LaLaurie was actually a socialite. Her husband was a surgeon, and they often threw lavish parties with fine food and fine wine for their guests. However, life at the mansion was not all it appeared to be. In 1834, firemen and policemen had to go to the house due to a kitchen fire. When the firemen entered the house, they saw slaves in the kitchen. These slaves in the kitchen actually told the firemen to go upstairs to help others who were caught in the fire as well. Once the firemen arrived in the 3rd floor, they found a door bolted in from the inside and could hear crying and horrid screaming from the other side. And this is where things get actually really disturbing. It is said that firemen broke into the door, they opened the door, and as soon as they entered the room, they fell to their knees vomiting from disgust from the smell that was coming out of this room. This room was nothing short of a house of horrors. What they found inside was 7 corpses hanging from their neck, limbs torn, just body pieces everywhere, and actual corpses under the flooring of this room. It was completely insane. After this horrible and twisted event, a mob developed and they were trying to find Madame LaLaurie herself. However, legend says that Madame LaLaurie was nowhere to be found, and some believe that she actually escaped and she left to France, but that is all a legend and we actually don't know her whereabouts. This story is said to be one of the scariest stories that happened in New Orleans, and people say that to this day when they walk by the LaLaurie Mansion at the dead of night, they can hear the screams of all her victims. Coming in at number 3, we have the ship the Queen Mary of Long Beach, California. Some say that the Queen Mary is one of those ships that stands as a crowning achievement of art and the industry of shipmaking. This ship took after other luxury cruises such as the Titanic. However, its operation to the public was very short-lived, especially because of World War II. It is said that this ship actually had the speed record of crossing the Atlantic for nearly 2 decades, and it carried the most amount of people in a single trip than any other vessel during World War II. However, the ship's 1,001 transatlantic crossings were accompanied by 49 recorded deaths. Today, it is said that as many as 150 different spirits may still call the Queen Mary their home. Some of the most notable residents that are said to be in the ship includes a young man who was actually crushed by a watertight door, a woman, a lady in white perhaps, who seems to be dancing in one of the suites, and people have said that by the pool they've seen little kids, they've seen children dressed in 1930s clothing, also some adults. This ship no longer sails, and it's actually found in Long Beach, California stationary. And this place now serves as a restaurant and as a hotel, and guests of the hotel have said, or people who've stayed, have said that they've heard excessive knocking at night, they heard yelling, they've heard kids screaming, and this is why this is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the United States today. In the number 4 spot comes in the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. The Eastern State Penitentiary is actually really interesting to me, especially because of its history. There's a lot of history behind this institution, and coming from a criminal justice background, I actually studied a lot about the Pennsylvania system and the Pennsylvania, I guess, type of prison. Some historians and some scholars actually believe that this place put prisoners through horrible torture, and that is because they spent all of their sentences in complete isolation. They couldn't see anyone else, and whenever they had to leave out of the block, they would put bags on their face so they couldn't see where they were, and they couldn't talk to anyone. The prisoners in this setting were completely alone, and this Gothic institution has actually been accredited to being the first one to develop solitary confinement. It was believed that if you had a prisoner who was alone, he would then actually feel bad for the things he did, and he would repent for his sins. Eastern State Penitentiary operated from right after the American Revolution until the Vietnam War, with generation after generation passing through, and over 1,000 people dying inside the prison walls. Many believe that it's actually haunted. This prison is actually quite popular in the paranormal community, and especially after the show Ghost Hunters actually claimed that they caught a ghost in cell block 13. And at number 5 comes in the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. This hotel is famous for inspiring author Stephen King into writing The Shining, a classic horror movie that depicts a story of a man who goes totally insane after seeing ghosts and apparitions around the hotel and ends up trying to kill his son and his wife. I tried looking for some history about the hotel and find out exactly why it's haunted, and I couldn't find a lot. It just seems that there's something eerie about this place, and Stephen King himself said that when he was staying in room 217, he had a dream of his son running away down the hallway, looking back and screaming. It is also said that famous actor Jim Carrey stayed in this room as well, and he could not spend the night there. Clearly, there is something wrong with this place, something really creepy, and this place has actually become a popular destination for ghost hunting or for the ghost fanatics, including TV shows. And I actually have a friend who actually went to the Stanley Hotel, and he said that he actually saw some creepy stuff happening there. But honestly, I really want to go to the Stanley Hotel and see what everybody's talking about. If you guys know more information about the true happenings at the Stanley Hotel, or at least its dark history, comment down below and let me know. Also, out of these 5 places, what do you guys think is the scariest place to go to, or which place do you want to go to? Comment down below and let me know, guys. And as always, guys, if you guys like videos like this, don't forget to hit that thumbs up to let me know you guys like videos like this. Subscribe. We put videos up every Monday and every Thursday, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next chase.